The air in Nouve Lune hums with brass and heat. Lanterns swing from wrought iron balconies, their light shimmering on cobblestone streets slick with humidity. The Tricentennial Festival is in full swing, the city's 300-year celebration of the sealing of the drowned king. The crowds are thick, the music's alive, and for once, the spirits of the city seem to dance rather than haunt. But beneath the laughter and the rhythm, there's something else. The air tastes faintly of salt. The river smells wrong, stale, like something long dead has begun to stir. Somewhere in the quarter, a bell tolls, but it's not on schedule. And as the sound echoes through the street, each of you feels it, the familiar pull of trouble. Welcome to Nouve Lune. Hello, everybody.
The crowd's thick, you said.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Everything But the Cats, the podcast where we talk about every single thing under the sun except for one specific thing. My name's Gage.
I'm DJ.
And we are joined today by three very dear friends. I do not care the order in which you introduce yourselves.
I'm Andrew, and I like to party.
I'm Jacob, and I like to party slightly less than Andrew.
I'm Garrett. I don't even know what partying is.
And when we have this many friends with us, you know, if you've been following for a while, exactly what we're about to get down to. But real quick, I want to give a shout out. What we're doing is we are playing a game called Monster of the Week. If you watched our session 0 last week, you had the opportunity to see how we built our characters and kind of get a feel for the world that we're going to be in. Just a little bit in that regard, at least. Some of the rules of the game. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to start off diving in, seeing what these hunters are going to discover and how they're going to defeat a certain evil. Now, before we get in, we have already talked about a few questions I do want to throw out. Experience, for those of you listening, is something that's pretty easy to get, especially for characters like Andrew's character, the Mundane. He has a lot of opportunities to get experience. And so if they can level up, we will be doing that in the game, like mid-session. So experience might be something that we get to see happen a few times here. But that aside, we have kind of painted the scene. You are in Nouve Lune. It's a city that has a few different areas to it that you should all be somewhat familiar with. But really quick, could each of you tell me what you're doing in Nouve Lune? I know 3 of you are brought here specifically for the festival. You have been sent here, and then 1 of you is already here. So let's go ahead and start with Cooper. Cooper, why are you here?
All right, my name's Coop, and I have, a number of YouTube channels, or, whatever we call YouTube in this realm, or whatever. Number of those channels, and I tried really hard to do, investigative journalism for a while, but related to paranormal stuff, but it didn't really pick up. So lately I've just been doing street interviews, and those have kind of been hitting lately. So I've been doing street interviews, but I still kind of like, the whole cryptid side of things. So I've been doing that. Kiss, Marry, Kill, Loch Ness Monster, a Jehovah's Witness, George Washington. I don't know. Stuff like that. And those videos have been doing really well. But my heart is in those kind of investigative videos. So hopefully I'll get to do that one day once I'm a bit more popular. So I've just been in street interviews is what I'm out here for.
Okay.
The big festival.
I'm going to go ahead and say next, let's go with Dr. Brian. Why are you in Nouve Lune?
I think there's a lot of reasons to bring you to a new town. Work's mostly the occasion. Really, I'm here for the people, who I can help out, whoever needs me. I'm here to help. By the way, I did that voice to Carrie, just leaning into the gravelly side of it, and she said, "Are you trying to be Aragorn? You sound like Viggo Mortensen right now." It's that is the best compliment you could ever give me, but also, no, that was not what I was going for.
You should go kick a helmet and break your toe. Everyone knows that's what happened, right?
It's still fun to explain that to someone on their first viewing of it.
It's not.
Okay, Thomas, why are you in Nouve Lune?
Something just pulls me here. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the town, what's going on. But there's this little whisper in the back of my brain, this little itch. that is just pulling me to figure out what's happening, and so I have to learn more.
Okay. And Malachi, what brings you here?
It's a mixture of my own personal fascination with the place and with all things strange, all things that are more than they seem on the exterior. The Nouve Lune has a lot to offer in terms of bright exterior hiding things, and I'm going to get to the bottom of that, but I'm also going so I can be there with my friend Thomas. I think he needs my help, and I want to make sure I have his back because he's had mine.
Okay, now in this world, as we have explained in the session 0, Thomas, Malachi, and Dr. Brian are all pre-existing hunters. Like, they have all existed in the world of hunters before, whereas Coop has not at this point. So this is a festival. You guys probably... Okay, I'm going to give some background on the festival first, and then I'm going to ask you what you're doing when you first get here. So the festival takes place every year to celebrate the defeat of the drowned king, the sealing of the drowned king, essentially. It takes place in the festival grounds, which is essentially just this area in the downtown section where they have parties, they've got parades going on, revelry, all kinds of fun stuff happening throughout this 3-day festival. Not far from that is something called the Cathedral of Tides, and this is a cathedral that was built on the battleground where the drowned king was initially defeated. The story that you guys know, because you are in the world of the supernatural, and because Cooper especially has probably studied it, the story that you know is that 300 years ago, there was this man who rose to some kind of power. I mean, there are people who have ideas, but it's not like agreed upon across the board how he got his powers. And he attacked the city with an army of undead. They weren't like your typical zombies. They were actually, we're going to call them the drowned ones. Essentially, they are people who died at sea, most likely, raised from the dead to fight for him. And so that's kind of what he attacked the city with. And for 2 days, they fought against him and against his army, and they were powerless to be able to defeat him. And then some hero, who very few people remember the name of, or even remember an idea that there is a single hero, found a way to seal the drowned king. And that is what?
Is this Pirates of the Caribbean?
Not
Like-
quite.
I feel like the drowned king was named Davy Jones or something.
Okay, here's the thing. If that is a parallel that we can draw, it was completely subconscious. In my mind, this was all original.
That's funny. It's great. It's good stuff.
But anyways, yes, so he was defeated. He was sealed. Do with that wording specifically what you will.
They shoved him in a locker of some sort.
And we are on the 300th anniversary of the sealing of the drowned king as you guys begin to celebrate. That is why I assume that Thomas is drawn here. That's why he feels the need to come this way. That is why I assume that Dr. Brian has been told to come here by people that he has worked with in the past. And that's what I assume Malachi has seen through his different avenues online. Now, Cooper is here for college. Like, you're a college student at the local community college with your mom and dad as your crew. So that's the festival. We are on day 1 of the festival. The festivities don't begin until tonight, however. There are people setting up their booths and their tents along the city streets. There are different things going on. You can tell that there's a bunch of visitors in town. There's a bunch of tourists. There's a bunch of stuff going on. So what are you guys doing when you first get here? And are any of you together? I guess since it's most likely for you two to be together, let's start with Thomas and Malachi. What are you guys doing?
I feel like I want to check out the cathedral. Even though I don't have like the sixth sense Thomas does, I'm still a student of history. So I know the battle that took place there. I know the connection it has to this ancient figure that we're both interested in. So it's something I can go and look at and investigate. So I think I'd want to go to the cathedral. Not sure what Thomas is up to, though.
I was going to say the same thing, but on a different perspective of he wants to go for the historical, aspect of it, where I feel like that is where, like, Thomas is getting, like, the most pull for him to go there.
Okay. So you guys go to the Cathedral of the Tides. You are there. There are just a number of parishioners who are present. They're getting ready for the festivities to happen. There's actually going to be a special ceremony involving holy water that happens later in the evening, just as part of the ceremony, like part of what they typically do. But you see that there is a priest who is there at the time, and a number of parishioners just helping get things set up. What do you want to do while you're there? Like, you're not alone, so obviously having a couple of people walk in isn't a surprise to anybody necessarily.
I'm assuming I'm with them too, or should I hold off?
You can be if you want to be. I was gonna give them a moment and then come back to you guys and see where you were.
You keep doing your thing.
Okay. Do you want to?
I think Thomas' character would just be like, he wouldn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's more like just like kind of wandering, like trying to figure out, like, okay, what is going on here? Like, he wouldn't ask questions to people he doesn't know.
Okay.
But he would be definitely, like, he would be curious, but he wouldn't be like digging yet. Like,
okay.
Until it like really piques his interest, then he would start using like some of the abilities he has to figure out info.
Okay, so what I will say is that you see that you notice that there's a lot of decorations up that look like they're fresh, like they look like they were just put up for the sake of the ceremony. And you can tell that this is going to be a big part of the festival. That's what you can tell. Malachi, are you going to talk to anyone? Are you going to try to look at anything? What are you doing?
Malachi, I think he wants to talk with one of the parishioners. Keep it light at the moment. Just play the tourist, maybe play a little dumb, like he knows less than he does. He's just wide-eyed and curious, asking questions. But maybe using that as a way to try to feel out what's going on here and learn some information without seeming suspicious.
All right, let's do it. Let's say you walk up, you see 2 or 3 people just kind of looking at the decorations as well. And let's say that's the group you walk up.
Hey, everyone. This is my first time in the city, and I couldn't help but notice how beautifully adorned this place is. It really looks like you've gone out of your way to make it look special. And I'm new here. I'm just trying to take everything in. Like, what's going on in here? Are you getting ready for a service or something?
Oh, yeah. So one of the 3 responds, kind of talks at the moment for the whole group. Oh, yeah. This is where we have the final part of the festival, actually. This is where we have the ceremony of sealing at the end. It's really cool. But also, tonight, we're going to be doing a new thing. It's something that there's this group. I don't know a lot about them, but they've just been like really kind of pushing this idea of, because it is the 300-year anniversary, like, we should do some kind of a blessing. And so I think Reverend Calloway is going to be giving out some holy water or doing something like that at some point.
No, the grand finale, that sounds something like I certainly can't miss. But is this evening get together open to the public? Is that something I could?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, everyone's welcome, as far as I know. Like I say, it's pretty new, but as far as I know, it's just something that you come to.
And this group, are they a consistent fixture of this place? I'm just trying to get to know everybody.
Yeah, it's a group of like business people, actually. Like, it's just different random leaders in the town. They just really decided to step up in the festival this year for some reason.
So I'm going to kind of interject there and ask more about them.
Okay, if we're going to get much deeper than we already have, I might need both of you to roll investigate a mystery.
Okay, well, that works out because I was going to use telepathy anyways.
I mean, if you're going to use telepathy, that's different. You are more than welcome to use telepathy.
Okay, it's 2d6, right?
Yes, 2d6.
Let me pull up a dice roller because I don't have dice.
And I'm rolling too.
Yes, but you're rolling for investigate a mystery, which is going to be your...
Listen, the only dice that I
Sharp.
have... What?
Well, for him, it's going to be sharp because he's doing investigate a mystery for Malachi. Also, in the Keeper rules, you refer to people by the hunter name. That's why I'm doing my best to use the hunter names here.
That's fine. That's fine. You just said he, and I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. Malachi's going to roll plus sharp. Thomas, I think telepathy is part of your weird, isn't it? Is that one of your moves?
It's a move.
Okay.
Yeah. That is an 11. Well, that's an 11.
I rolled a 7 plus 2, so that's 9.
Okay. So, on a 9 for investigate a mystery, where is it? You hold 1, meaning that you can ask one of the questions that's present under investigate a mystery, which are what happened here, what sort of creature is it, what can it do, what can hurt it, where did it go, what was going to do, what is being concealed here. That's probably the question you're going for. But you can word it slightly different, but that's about the answer you're going to get, is like what's being concealed here.
I love that this festival is bringing the town together. I just know that in my experience dealing with people, there's usually got to be a very, very good reason why such a disparate group of leaders would put everything aside and try to come together to make this one moment happen. Why is that?
So, another interjection as the keeper here. I'm going to be honest with you based on what it makes sense for the NPCs to know. Yeah, I really don't know. Yeah, so he has no idea. These 3 guys, they're literally just parishioners. Like they're not the businessmen, they're not the people who are pushing for it. They're just helping out because it's their church. They're volunteers. So they're not sure.
Well, if there's any way I could speak to the Reverend Calloway, I think that would do so much good for me, just to learn everything I can and get to take in the beautiful culture of your city.
Well, yeah. Now, real quick, Thomas, what were you doing with your role?
I was going to see if they were actually telling the truth, but you said that as the keeper, you are validating the truth.
Yes, I am for you guys. There are times where I might hide the truth a little bit, but people are generally going to be honest to you. And if they're being dishonest, that can be something that we make somewhat clear. Okay.
Well, now
you can
that...
hold that role and use it on the Reverend if you want.
I was going to say, okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll wait. All right.
I'll allow that.
Works with me.
Yeah, he's just right over here. Like, he points over to the stage where he's, like, you see him in wearing the priestly garb. And he's just, like, talking to a few of the parishioners. He's like, yeah, you could just go up and talk to him.
Absolutely. Could you introduce me? I'm sorry. He's really important.
Oh, sure.
I'm new to this
What was your name again?
He's bashful.
I don't think I got it.
Malachi.
Malachi. Okay, nice to meet you. My name's Joshua. Let's go.
Oh, thanks, Joshua.
And yours?
Tom.
Tom. Okay, Tom and Malachi. So he walks you over and introduces you. It's literally just, very basic. It's like, oh, hey, Reverend Calloway, I just want to introduce you to these 2 guys, Malachi and Tom. They're here for the festival. They're visiting, actually, and they wanted to talk to you. He's like, oh, greetings, boys. Welcome. I guess he would say, my children. I don't know how that actually goes. I ain't one of them Catholics. He'd be like, greeting, my children. How are you?
Thank you for seeing us, Reverend. I'm just so blown away by how all out everyone's gone for this festival here. I mean, I don't know how you usually adorn this place, but these banners look phenomenal. And I love the battle. I'm a huge student of history, so I'm trying to drink in as much as I can right now.
Oh, really? Yeah, this is pretty standard for us. We take a lot of pride in the festival. Yeah, we're doing a little more than normal, but as far as decorations go, this is, like I say, we take pride. We take pride in our history. And this is something we really would like to honor.
Yeah, I've heard that this has really brought a lot of people together. And, I've seen a lot of people from different parts of the country coming out for this, but that the city itself has banded together to give everybody a good time.
Yeah, I think anniversaries are a special thing, especially when when they're big anniversaries, like 300 years. And I think that, like, in the concept of holidays and festivals and stuff like that, when you really think about it, like joy, celebration, redemption, all of these things, they belong to God. And I feel like this is just everything coming together. And people are, I don't know, I think the Spirit's catching up in them. Stole that from DJ, who got it from someone else.
Yeah, it's not mine.
And I'm side-eyeing Tom.
Yeah, I want to figure out what
Okay, what are you using your telepathy to do?
to just like read his mind. I want to see what he
So-
said was other.
Telepathy is...
You can read people's thoughts and put words in their mind. This can allow you to investigate a mystery or read a bad situation without actually needing to talk.
Yes, and what did you read again? What did you roll again?
Like, I don't know. Well, is it? So it was an 11,
Okay,
but
was that without any modifiers?
that was before my +1 on sharp because it's for investigate a mystery, correct?
Either that or manipulate someone. You can choose.
We will go with the sharp because I have the positive bonus in that one. So it's a 12.
Okay, so it's a 12. That means you have not advanced it yet, so you don't get that advanced question. You can hold 2, which means that you can ask 2 of those questions. Really, there's still only one that makes sense in this scenario.
Okay.
Unless you want to try to find a way to make one of the others work.
I'm gonna try to get one.
Actually, okay. I know it's not advanced yet. Because of the question list, I'm going to go ahead and let you ask the keeper any question about this specific situation with the Reverend.
I mean, I was gonna ask like, what is being concealed here? I feel like that is the most like normal question, or like the most like out there question for sure.
Nothing.
Okay.
As far as Reverend Calloway is concerned, people are just caught up in the spirit of the festival, more
Okay.
so than normal.
Awesome. Wow. All right. That's interesting.
So at this point, I'm looking over and Thomas is shaking his head slightly at me, and I
Yeah.
just have to do this and get my smile back up and be like,
Right.
that's wonderful.
I telepath myself into his brain and be like, it's a dud, dude. We gotta go.
Well,
And
this has been so great, and I'd love to take part in this get-together that's happening tonight. When was that again?
That's going to be after the. That's going to be after the. Oh gosh, I forgot the word. After the parade. After the parade at the city square.
All right. Well, I really love the whole like drowned one dunk tank they got set up out there, so I'm gonna go take a look at that. And thank you so much, Reverend. We want to see you later. We'll be back tonight for sure.
Great. Love to see you. Okay, so are you guys going to go ahead?
Hold on. Can I use one of my hold twos to mess with the Reverend for fun? I feel like that's something Thomas would do, as to someone who's like in a religious field.
Depending on what it is.
Balk like a chicken once.
Make him balk like a chicken?
Yeah, you can manipulate someone, right? Oh, that's a different role. Never mind.
Yeah, that's a different role.
Dang it.
Okay, so you guys, you're going to go ahead and head, let's say, to the square or something?
Yeah.
You're going to start heading that way? Okay, let's go to Dr. Brian. What is Dr. Brian doing? And I guess, do you think, Coop, what are you, like, where are both of you?
I think I would have started out, talking to both Thomas and Malachi, seeing where they were intending to go.
Mm-hmm.
Once I found out where they were going, just seems like a safe place already. Not too worried about it, but I think a little more suspicious of another place, and I think I'd go check it out by myself. Just like to wander through the drowned district a little bit, talk to some people there.
Okay.
Perchance throw myself into some danger by myself.
So, I was doing street interviews, and I, like, out of the corner of my eye, I started to notice, like, earlier I was out and I asked some vampire goat farmer smash or pass about El Chupacabra, and Malachi saved my bottom in that scenario, and so I've already kind of had my eye on him a little bit, but then I remember the video that I did a while ago where I got to the bottom of who killed the lady at the Y who was leading the knitting class, and it was Dr. Bryant, but like that I had figured out that was because like she had like occult stuff, and so I'm in the middle of a street interview and I happen to see Dr. Bryant, and I'm like, whoa, what's this guy doing here? So I like I tell mom and dad, I'll catch up, and I kind of start following behind. So I'm just kind of watching from a distance, kind of recording every once in a while. Not like live streaming or anything. Like this is for my serious channel.
Yeah. Okay, so you're both going into the Drowned District. Now, the Drowned District is an area of the city that is prone to flooding and is pretty run down pretty much perpetually. There are people there, but there are also rumors of people going missing, mysterious deaths, and the faintest whispers that can't be explained as you walk through the streets.
I think that's kind of what Dr. Bryant's here to do, is kind of not as a guise, but kind of going around and asking people what they know, what they might have heard. Just best therapist voice is asking people, do you know someone who's been lost? Have you were a loved one, been lost in the Drowned District? And asking around. I would like to more or less investigate a mystery. The question I'm thinking, if I roll well enough, is what happened here. But in the specific context of, for the people who are said to have gone missing, I want to find one specific instance and investigate that.
That would be perfect. So go ahead and roll your investigate a mystery and let's see what happens.
I'm a little terrified that you said that would be perfect. What is that again? What do I add to that?
Investigate a mystery is your sharp.
Oh, cool. So that's a 10.
Okay, so on a 10, you get 2 questions.
Woo! Can I hold on to one of those for a minute?
Until you get the answer to the first one, sure.
Okay, so I don't have to pick questions first. Like I can ask one question, you answer it, and then I ask the other question, you answer it.
Yes, yeah.
Gotcha. So, I imagine Dr. Bryan's,
Let's say, you go to one of the locals who lives in the Drowned District. It's somebody named Luann, and she's just like, well, what brings you around here?
I'm sure I stand out pretty stark. I hear I'm not from around this town, but I've heard a lot of heartbreaking stories recently. Some friends just disappearing, and I know that can wreak havoc on a heart and wreak havoc on a community. And it just sounds awfully suspicious. And I thought I might come down, see if anyone could use some help, see if I could maybe help find someone. Maybe it's too much to hope for, but do you know, have you had someone, a neighbor, a friend who knows someone's disappeared, someone who's gone? I know there's the floods and things like that, but anything that you can't quite explain that seems a bit off?
Well, it's not quite that people have been going missing, but rather they've been mysteriously drowning. I know that sounds weird in the Drowned District, but they're not near water. They just drown.
They drown. How do you know they're not near water? Obviously,
Like they'll be found in a completely dry room, no signs of entry or forced exit or anything like that, and they'll have water in their lungs. Their eyes will have that glossy, misty film on them.
These are people just being found, right? This isn't someone, walks into their own home and they find a stranger who's been somehow drowned without water. It's people Is there, I almost hate to say, is there a place I could look and see? I don't want to see the person, of course, just the space they were in.
Oh, I'm sure at the rate it's going, I'm sure someone's going to turn up any minute now.
Well, that's oddly specific and terrifying, but it's a pleasure to speak to you, Luann, and I appreciate all the information you're helping provide. I don't mean to pry, but it sounds like you know of a lot of people this might have happened to. Why do you stay here?
Oh, I can't go anywhere else.
As Luann is that, people who say they can't go anywhere else are holding on to something. And I think in a circumstance like this, in a place like this, it might just be time to let that go and take your best chance. I'm gonna do the holding someone's hand, like patting it on the top, and then I'm gonna lean in and go, "You're not hiding anything from me, are you, Louis? I wouldn't blame you, but you wouldn't hide something from me." That's me asking, what is being concealed here? Like, what is she? Because I'm imagining stranger walks up and it just starts asking questions. My question of what's being concealed here is meant to be more directed at you via her, I guess, but kind of like.
She leans in respectively toward you and says, kisses you on the nose. I was going to say
the same thing. Just kisses him on the forehead.
No, she leans in respectively and says, well, if I was hiding anything, it's that I was one of them. And then she disappears.
Well, that just ain't right.
Hey guys, Coop the Snoop here, and stuff is going down.
Man, good old Coop back here again. Oh, wow.
What is going on?
What a time to be alive.
Anyways, I'll keep you guys updated in the next video.
So at this time, where are you going to go next? I guess I should ask.
Is there residue? Is there anything left on my hand?
Like seaweed just
salt
dangling
water.
off his thumb. It's like
There's salt water, but it's not like...
There's like the slight like smell of brine, and like your hand is wet.
And was she outside a house?
Yes.
I would like to go inside the house.
Okay.
Do I have to roll to break and enter, or is it just is it within my normal wheelhouse?
I don't think break and enter is one of the moves.
It should be.
During this moment, I am gonna like come get closer because I've been like creeping, but I'm gonna like actually like engage with Dr. Brian and like, hey, Coop the Snoop here.
Hey, Coop, I don't mean to squash your dreams. This might be a good time to keep the camera off for a second. And I'm gonna take out my multi-tool and like start picking the lock to open the door.
And Coop is not gonna turn his camera off.
That's fine. Hey,
so let's say
you're passionate about,
he'll
it'll get you
pretend.
somewhere.
while
Yeah.
you're doing this, like a patrol officer starts walking down the street, and because you guys are trained, or at least because Dr. Brian is trained, he overhears something over the walkie-talkie about a new drowning victim in their apartment off of the city square.
Off the city square.
Off the city square.
I think I'm going to hear that, see that, look around, just kind of assess, like, this is not worth a direct confrontation with local law enforcement.
I got this.
And I would like to manipulate someone. And he might just do it anyway. I do feel like I am in a weird spot where we obviously don't fit in. But between the two of us, I'm less likely to have an excuse. So I would like to try to manipulate Coop the Snoop into going and asking that specific officer about smash or pass on the chupacabra.
So I have an ability called What Does That Feel Like? When I put my camera or microphone right in a person's face, they break off whatever they're doing. They might go right back to it after they deal with me, but I'll create enough time for the other hunters to act in the meantime. So you don't have to manipulate me too much. Like, I'm curious if this guy smashes or passes El Chupacabra.
Yeah, but hey, if I do this and you choose to do it, I think, what is it? You get experience if I convince you.
Succeed. Yes. They'll do
I
it.
get experience.
Yes, you
They'll
get
do
experience
it
if
for
I
them,
successfully
give
convince
them-
you.
Manipulate me. Go for
You're
it.
like, please, I want to be manipulated.
I'm trying to think. Is that for another hunter? Yes. They mark experience and get +1 forward, which means they get to add a +1 to their next roll.
So I got a 12. So you'd either have to act under pressure to resist, or if you do what I ask, you get 1 experience and get 1 +1 ongoing while you're doing what you're asked. So I think Dr. Brian's going to go, hey, Coop, I need you to perform some journalism that I know only you are capable of. That officer looks like he needs to wrestle with some unresolved urges, and I think he needs a good prompting. And you think you know exactly what to do.
I will say really quick, Malachi, Thomas, while you guys are heading to the city square, you overhear a similar report coming over another officer's walkie-talkie.
I think this guy's trying to gather us somewhere.
I think that we just like hear it, look at each other, nod, and go to it.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
you
we
can do
just-
that.
we
I
just-
still want to see how this plays out. I do want to see how this plays out.
We're the normal.
But
We're the ones that just know, like, okay, let's go. Like,
The
no,
Reverend
I
was a
want
bust.
this to happen. I want this to happen.
I was wondering. I was really wanting Andrew to say, like, this man, he's a bit of a freak.
Now, listen, I've worked with some talented people, some odd ones, some
He
a
turns
little
into
bit of
Dr.
both.
Phil real quick and just goes unhinged.
That man right there, I can tell you just by looking at him. He nasty.
He indeed wants to
he's
smash or
just-
pass a
He's a
cryptid.
little bit sick inside. But you know, sometimes you gotta speak it. You gotta say it first. You gotta get it out there. I don't think he has that opportunity.
Manifest.
You you could be that opportunity for him.
I desire to ask him this, but okay, I'll go do it, I guess. This is good for the channel.
Now you just feel more motivated.
And I'm just gonna
Yeah.
pull the classic Batman of as soon as he turns his back, I'm gone.
Just running away.
So, I am gonna go talk to the police officer and... Hello, sir. How are you, sir? Nice to meet you. My name is Cooper Anderson, and I'm just out here doing some interviews, and I'd like to ask you some questions, if that's all right.
Okay.
Okay, so picture this: she's like a 12, right? She's stunning, she's gorgeous, she's awesome. You love her. She's great. She's El Chupacabra. What number is that?
I'm rolling a D6.
Sir, that's surprisingly high. Good for you. All right. Okay, so kiss, marry, kill, right? Let's see. Bigfoot, like a dozen donuts. The concept of gentrification.
Well, I guess I'd have to marry the donuts for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons, yes, sir.
I'd have to what was the first one? Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah, I'd kiss Bigfoot. And I'd
That's
kill
fair.
the concept of
Respectable.
gentrification.
Oh, you're a right gentleman, you are. Okay, so one last question. What's going on with these drownings? I heard something on your radio.
I'm going to go ahead and say at this, he's just like, yeah, I think it's drugs. I think it's some new drug or something like that. He's like, oh, I need to get back to that. And so he starts heading in the direction. He's like, buzz off, kid. And then starts.
So
heading
it seems
in
like
the
he's going towards the apartment.
Yeah, he's going towards the apartment.
I'll follow. I take a quick look behind me. I see that Brian's already gone. I'm like, well, jerk. And so I'll just kind of follow the officer along, and the whole time I'm kind of talking to my camera about, their leads and, oh yeah, kiss, marry, kill, the drowned ones. But that's all right. Next
Save that
time.
one for later.
Next time. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. the Keeper, sir, while I'm running to the town square, I would like to use my ability that lets me stumble across something important,
Okay.
though not necessarily related to my immediate problems.
That's oops, right?
Yes. Oops, I found it again. Don't know what it is.
Okay, I'm going to say you find just as you're going along, I assume down maybe some back roads potentially, because you kind of know the area. You researched and understand the geography of the area. We talked about this. And you're going down some back roads trying to get to the town square because you know the fast route. You see, you just stumble upon this very clean-looking voodoo doll that just seems out of place.
Okay. I will just put that in my cargo pants and keep on running. Man, the number of times I've said that in my life.
Okay, so you all are getting to about the same area, and you see an apartment building literally just right off the city square. It might be less than a block away, and it's like a small apartment building. It's 2-3 apartments probably, and you see a couple of police officers just kind of standing outside. What do you do? Let's say this is where you run into each other.
I mean,
Oh, cool. Well, welcome back. I lost you a little bit back there. Sorry, I was trying to hustle on this way, but good
that's
to
all
see
right.
you.
No one ever loses me. They'll try, but that's all right.
You remind me of that little dog from Puss in Boots and The Last Wish. If you
I've
get
not
the
seen
reference,
it.
you get it. It's
Sorry.
such a good movie. It's such a good movie.
That's the one with death, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Coop is he's zoned in. He's been following. He knows that something is going on, so he's immediately going to read a bad situation. Is the name of the movie. It's not that the situation is inherently bad, but he's trying to find the best way in. So I can
for
roll
what it's
dice
worth,
if you'd like me to.
Yes, please.
Malachi rounds the corner, and then he sees Coop the Snoop, and instantly goes back around the corner to grab Thomas by the shoulders.
Thomas is just like, I know, I sense him.
Read my mind right now.
That is going to be a 9.
Okay, on a 9, you hold 1, which means you get to ask 1 question. Which is, what's the best way in, right?
Yeah. So I guess before we do that, as I show up, I kind of tailed a cop here.
Yes.
What do I like? What do we see when we show up? You said it kind of quickly. But.
Yeah, you just see like these. There's a small apartment. I say apartment building. It's like a duplex essentially. You see this duplex off the town square, the city square. The front door. You see a couple of police officers just kind of like standing there, looking into the door, and then the officer that you were tailing goes up, meets them, starts just having some small talk. They're talking back and forth about what was going on, what they suspect. You potentially overhear somebody talking about how they think it's a drug epidemic. They think there's a new drug on the street that causes these weird effects in people. But that's about all that you get. Like, that's what you guys see. That's what you're hearing. There is a little bit of a crowd because it's off the city square and everybody is getting prepared. As you were passing through here, again, you saw all kinds of tents and booths that were being set up. People were getting ready. I will say you did notice that most of the tents and the booths looked really, really shoddy. Like they looked like they were in really bad shape.
So, I guess that I will ask. So it's tricky, almost in a way, because I know that Dr. Brian is here. I'm trying to figure out more than like what's my best way in, like what's our best way in, or like what's the highest odds of getting one of us in this place.
So I think, and I don't know if this would count. This might be two separate roles. I think I have a way to help out, but it's kind of indirect. I would like to, because we have some sort of sending group. I assume we have some sort of, even if it's just very mild, like a non-prestigious authority. I would just like to go up and just try to manipulate someone. I want to try and see if I can just convince them to let me in, the cops, and hopefully, if nothing else, my conversation with the three of them is enough of a distraction for the rest of these hoodlums to get in there too.
So I will point out, you are from an organization. We never decided if it was a government organization or something along those lines. I will allow you at this point. Remember, Nouve Lune is a place where the supernatural is not only somewhat recognized, but is commonplace. So your encounter earlier with somebody that you were speaking to disappearing in your conversation, that's just a normal Tuesday for these people. So I do want you to keep that in mind, that you have some level of authority just by being in a supernatural organization, right. Potentially. You would have to play it well, but you probably would be listened to.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think Dr. Brian would be going in anywhere. Like, I don't think he would be part of just a random, like, non-government agency. He's probably part of something that is more, at least, like, official in some way. So,
but
I think
to answer Coop, though, the best way in is probably to convince your way in. And if you use that information, or I'm going to say if anybody in the party uses that information, I'm going to go ahead as the keeper, let this happen. They get a +1 to their rolls if you're using that information to get in.
Okay. Well, I would like to continue on my path of asking nicely. And I won't be stopped.
Okay.
You can't stop me from being polite.
I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be act under pressure.
Act under pressure, not manipulate. Oh, man, dang it. This went from being something I'm good at to something I'm very not good at. Okay. Sure.
I mean, okay, you could, like...
No, you make the call. I'll go with whatever.
Do either. Explain how it's manipulating, and I'll let it be manipulate someone.
Because I would imagine just like you don't, like if an FBI agent shows up, or like someone from out of state or something, or a higher federal, if a Fed shows up to a local crime scene, they don't want inherently to just let them come in and mess with the crime scene and mess up stuff. Like there's usually some amount of contention of like, this is our, especially for like a bigger city like this, they're like, no, this is our stuff, we're handling it, we're not going to let you get in here and do whatever it is you're going to do. There's probably an element of mistrust or like hesitancy where they wouldn't just be like, sure, yeah, come on in and help. So I think I'm going to take the approach of the manipulation would be convincing them what's mostly, it's probably just, it's at least a white lie of, oh, well, I'm just here to study and observe. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm not going to, move anything. But I'm tracking I'm mapping some of the sociological implications, the psychological impact of this, and to get a good like reading of the person who lived in this house and build a psychological profile, I need to see the place untouched, uninvestigated, and I need to get in there right when it happened to see if this is drug related or if it is more, if supernatural is normal here. It's like if it is supernatural in nature, being able to better build a profile of what kind of person is affected by this and will be affected by this in the future.
Okay. Do your roll.
Okay, I feel like I put it together a really good explanation, which means I'm not going to roll well, but here we go.
Congratulations, it's a 4.
Well, so you said I get +1,
Yeah.
and I have +2 to charm. So my total is 5.
Wait, so you got
Alright.
snake eyes?
I got the snake eyes.
Dang.
So that is a failure.
I'm going to mark my experience and just hope for the best here. It's comforting to know that the worst I can do on a charm roll is 4 or 5. Like, that's...
Okay. So, how close in relation are Malachi and I now?
Like, you guys, you're there. Like, you're around the corner. You're pretty dang close to what's going on.
We're
Real
hearing
quick,
what's
I need to just pull up.
Need to punish Andrew.
Yeah, I
See,
need to punish
I was,
Andrew
I was
really
looking at the one
quick.
here, I'm like, ooh, if I got the 12, it's like there's an option where if you convince them really well, then they become an ally. I'm like, ooh, that would be so good to have an ally. This on the force. No. Guys, sometimes you make a plan, and it's a good plan. There's nothing wrong with having a plan.
Okay, so
Doesn't mean
you
it's gonna
you go
go
up
your
to
way.
him, you start trying to explain what's going on, and the 3 officers are just like that are standing outside the door. They're just like, they just look at you like, who is this weirdo talking about supernatural stuff? Get out of here. And then they just turn around and they ignore you. But they're a little bit on guard of weird people approaching the front door.
I'm
So-
tempted to
Sorry.
use see it all fits together to manipulate using my sharp bonus to build off of what the good doctor has started, and by letting them know we're trying to get ahead of this. This is a very big celebration. It's a very jubilant time. So news of another drowning the day that the festival is reaching its height would really dampen the spirits around here.
Hey, here we go.
So we're just trying to get in there, get ahead of the story, and say, definitively, is this drug related? And if so, hey, it's Nouve Lune on a weeknight. Things happen, people get carried away, as opposed to doing something that could seriously start putting people in a bad mood related to this drowning festival.
Okay, I need you to roll.
Okay.
Wait, so you're using manipulate someone based on
Sharp.
sharp instead of charm. Okay, so you're getting a +2 instead of a +1. I got you. Okay,
Smart,
and you're
smart,
technically
smart.
getting a +3 because of the ongoing hold that I'm giving the whole part.
I rolled an 8.
Okay, so that's an 11. That is a success. So for manipulate someone, you have succeeded, which is great. On 11, they're going to do it for the reason that you give them.
Okay.
So your reasoning makes sense. He's like, okay, but don't touch anything. And he does not let. Gosh, this is weird. So all 4 of you are there. I'm assuming that Dr. Brian has just done this, and they were like, and then Malachi is just like, okay, but what about this? And they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I've kind of built upon what the doctor was saying. So it's like they weren't buying it from Brian, but then I come up and I'm like, see, this is our big goal. We're trying to get ahead of this.
Yeah.
And I feel like that means they would let at least Malachi, Dr. Brian, in.
I'll accept that. I'll accept that.
I wander up. Hey, officers. Looks like
one of them
it's
recognizes you,
visiting
right?
hours.
Hey, Gage. So, the dark side, right?
Oh boy.
It's where things happen that you're kind of in control of. One of my things is violence, so it's trying to convince others to be violent. I was really going to be like, I convince an officer to go for the other one's gun. Listen, we pay taxes. That's ours too, right?
Roll for manipulate.
No, I'm not doing it.
I was about to say, but
Committed now,
Dr. Brian,
boy.
get in here now. Things are
Under
about to
the
go
dark
down.
side. Under the dark
I have
side.
to do it. God, I should
It also says the keeper can ask you to do nasty things in accordance to your tags.
So I have to convince an officer to go for the other officer's gun. Cool. Roll for manipulate. At least it's a 0. But we get a plus. So do I still get the plus?
It's +1, and then whatever your normal plus would be to manipulate.
Oh, it's charm, so it's nothing.
Okay, so yeah, you get a technically you get a +1.
Oh man, it's a 4.
Okay,
Do it. You're a coward if you don't.
so they arrest you.
Well, no. Here's the thing. It's not like they don't know it's coming from me. I'm in their brain.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
just like,
So
what?
he's just like, guys, I just had the weirdest thought. I felt like I needed to try to
killed
steal
you.
your gun.
All right, they're distracted. Everyone in. Go, 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 go.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Sweet.
Thomas is just
because I
really
want to
Kylo
move
Ren
forward.
on undercover boss right now. Oh, he's
Thomas is
choking
having
on
fun. He
food.
doesn't like this.
So you guys get inside.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Cooper's a little disappointed that he didn't get to do his whole spiel like, howdy, I'm Cooper, Cooper Anderson from CNN. That's the creepy news network. But he's a little disappointed, but that's all right. He goes on in.
So you guys get inside, and
That got me experience.
it did. Yeah, you failed. Also, Dr. Brian, because you failed earlier, you get an experience. I don't know if you marked it yet or not.
I did. Did we count the? I know Cooper was tailing me a bit, but when I wandered into the place where people keep disappearing and drowning without water, did that count as going to investigate something scary on my own?
He
Yes.
didn't mean to get tailed.
Yeah, that counts.
Okay. All right.
So
Mark that one.
you get inside to this apartment by an act of God, essentially. You're all allowed in here.
They really shouldn't have let us in. We did not do a good job.
I thought I did a good job.
Oh well, you listen now, Malachi. You did a great job.
I thought it'd be cool.
I thought it'd be cool if he stole the other officer's gun. But yeah, you get inside and you see two different officers. One of them is Captain Henry DuPont, and the other is Detective Lou Baptiste. You don't necessarily know this information yet, but they both carry themselves as though they are of a higher stature than the officers that you saw outside. You see them, and you see a body in the middle of the floor. It is a woman, and she looks as though she has been drowned. Just the features that I described earlier, like she's got the glossy eyes. The room is completely dry, but you kind of overhear them talking and saying that, well, she has the signs of being drowned. And so you walk into this. It's a duplex apartment. 4 grown-ish men have just walked in. The 2 officers turn around and are like, "Why are you in here?"
I would immediately like to try again with my explanation before, but borrowing from Malachi's wisdom. Like I think before I used too many words. Use my 3-letter acronym of whatever organization I'm with. Just try it again, but keep it very, very straightforward. Of like, we're here to confirm that this is either supernatural or drug related. This is our expertise. We won't touch anything. We won't take up any of your time. We'll be in and out before you know it.
They both look as though the idea that it could be supernatural, like they both kind of, when you say whether or not it's supernatural, they both kind of like roll their eyes and they're like, well, it's pretty cut and dry. This is some new drug. I don't know who keeps saying it could be supernatural.
Unless you have a pharmacological degree on that, it's going to be pretty hard for you to tell just by looking at it. I actually am legally allowed to prescribe medications, so I know a thing or two about side effects of drugs, and I might be able to tell you whether or not being drowned can be a byproduct of any form of medication. So I promise we're not going to get you in trouble. We're not going to get in your way in your investigation. We're not even here to get any details about the victim. We're just here to do a couple tests, do some research, get on out. And if it's all fake, then it won't bother you any either. Please.
I'm
It's
half
not-
tempted to have one of them argue with you and be like, you ever heard of Giggle Pig Boy?
Wait, Giggle Pig Boy, as in, are you calling me a boy? Or are you
Calling
saying-
you boy. And he's
Lord
asking if you've ever heard of Giggle Pig.
of Giggle Pig. Now, first of all, have I heard of Giggle Pig?
It's a street name for like a new drug, essentially. You may have heard of it, but it's not very common in areas outside of the South at this point. I will say, like the Gulf area. I stole it from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so
I think the please at the end wasn't a like desperation please, but as in like a I'm not being rude. Please.
Yeah,
let me extend you that courtesy.
I will say that they go ahead and let you hang out for a second, but in order to figure anything out, you're all probably going to have to roll investigate a mystery. You can either do that or read a bad situation, depending on which you feel like you might want to ask. I'm not trying to lead you in any direction, but you'll probably want to do either of those.
I'm going to investigate a mystery.
Thomas and I, when we both came into the room, we didn't want to crowd the officers to make it seem like we were intimidating them into doing what we want. But I saw Thomas has kind of like really stayed back. So that ticks off my sensor of I don't have a good feeling at all about what's going on here. There's clearly more than what the officers know or are willing to acknowledge. So I think I would be more I want to read a bad situation here.
Okay.
I got a 10 on my investigate a mystery.
You can ask 2 questions.
Okay. I would like to know what happened here. And let's start with that. And I think the more pointed part of what happened here is this is clearly something external happening to these people. It's not, someone found a way to drown themselves, I don't think, which implies that there's another person or being acting in this way. So I kind of want my second question to be, what sort of creature is it about the thing that did it, that committed this? That might be dependent upon the answers to the first question of what happened here, but that's where I'm going so far.
So, what happened here is that the woman who is named Clarice Duval, by the way, her name is Clarice Duval. I will say you find out the officers, Detective Lou Baptiste, Captain Henry DuPont, they give you this information. They go ahead and tell you this is Clarice Duval. She was in charge of setting up the festival, essentially. Like, she was the festival planner. The room is completely dry. There is no sign of forced entry, exit, nothing like that. No sign of another person being here. She has all the signs, though, of being drowned. Lungs filled with salt water, eyes murky. That's what happened, is she drowned. The answer to the question, what sort of creature is it, is magical, I guess? Maybe spiritual?
So I guess more specifically, does it look like she was resisting something or someone? Are things knocked over
No.
on the ground, or it's just like everything is immaculate, kept in its place? So whatever happened, she did not or was not able to resist.
Yeah, no, it overtook her.
Sorry, I was gone. Can we confirm this person is dead?
Good question. Yes, she's dead.
So-
And as of right now, you and I decided not to crowd the officers and kind of hanging back. And also our supernatural detectors are going off, like in our own special ways. So we're getting kind of nervous.
I am drawn back to the memory of Luann, who I had a full conversation with, and then she physically felt she was there, and then she disappeared into nothingness, which makes me suspicious on the deadness of this person. Is there anything I would recognize between what I saw from Luann and now Clarice? And anything that seems similar that might lead me to believe that something could happen right now, where she could regain consciousness or disappear or something like that.
Oh, yeah. The smell of brine.
It smells like pickles.
Specifically salt water. Like salt water.
Dr.
is what you're
Brine?
smelling.
Pickle man.
Cat did not like that.
My cat almost fell down because she's not always great at jumping.
So you
Sorry.
can... I definitely... Well, it's not a phenomenon yet. Never mind.
Okay.
I was going to say there are questions you can ask specifically of phenomena, But this is technically not a phenomena yet. Yes, this is technically not one of those yet.
I'm just gonna go. So first of all, this is Coop's first time seeing a dead body in person, and he's doing very well. He wants you to know he is handling it just fine.
He runs up with the mic. Yo, smash or pass.
But he's just gonna try to get more information out of the police, like to understand, because like he lives in the area, and he's not heard very. I guess if he lives in the area, how much has he heard about these drownings happening?
Yeah, so with your ear to the proverbial floor of the supernatural world, you've probably heard that there are unexplained drownings happening periodically. Like, you've heard whispers of it, but there's no, like, overwhelming theory as to what could be causing it.
I would like to, before we move on, at some point, when the officers are not looking, I would like to oops and find something again. And also let
It's
me know
a wallet.
if anybody hits the officer's gun. I don't know if this applies to my immediate situation, but it's definitely useful.
Mystery Musketeer.
I also would like to know if and when I ever see the person that looks like the voodoo doll I picked up.
Good question. Lola, don't bite my toe.
What?
My cat just bit my toe.
Also, that's twice in this episode we've said the no-no word.
Oh, it'll happen more, probably.
The first time I ever stayed the night at Gage's house, I'm pretty sure Lola spent the whole night on top of my face, and I'm just like trying to hide from this cat who is only interested in like biting me and scratching me and stuff.
You want to see what I'm dealing with right now?
Sometimes.
A little bit of turn the blur off cam. Look at those two.
Cute.
They don't look like they're causing any problems. I don't know what you're talking about.
That one, one does.
They're just cute little babies with no problems whatsoever.
Mowgli and
Man.
Clover.
Gage, I forgot about your ancient cat.
Yeah, she's like 22.
So if this derails like getting things moving along in the manner in which you would like to do it, you can just hurry me along. But I am gonna try to like talk to the police and like see what I can pull out of them.
Please do. Please do.
Police do. Howdy, officers. Cooper Anderson here.
We know.
From CNN.
What?
And I was just wondering if I could ask you guys some questions.
Sure.
Now is when I would like to find my thing. Just whenever you figure out what it is.
So,
Nothing is more distracting than Cooper Anderson.
go ahead. Go ahead, Cooper. Whatever you're doing. I'm rolling a
Well,
d20
first
to determine
question.
how useful it is.
Upon seeing this body, what the heck? What the heck?
I mean, obviously we think, as you've heard us say, probably multiple times now, that there's a new drug on the streets. That when people
you found
overdose,
this
this is
drug?
what it... Well, no, but we don't know any other possible explanation. And you know what they said about bath salts years ago in Florida, turning people into zombies. I doubt this is really any different.
This is just a bath, man.
That's
So,
what they should call it.
I guess the best thing is, if I'm trying to like figure them out, is it manipulate? No, I guess it'd be investigate a mystery. And I would like to investigate a mystery.
Do it.
Sorry, one of my dice is gone. Give me just a moment. Where'd you go?
So, Dr.
That's a
Brian,
mystery.
you find a drawing, and on, like, it's just a weird little square of paper, and on the weird little square of paper it has what looks like a black jar with an X drawn over it.
It's a 10.
Okay, so that means you get two questions.
Yeah, so based on my conversation with the officer, I am trying to figure out like what is being concealed here.
Okay, so
And,
they're
like-
not... Oh, go ahead.
So, in kind of in a deeper sense, what I'm trying to get to is like I know that the story that everyone is pushing is that it's a new drug, but like officers have their own thoughts and feelings and emotions, I assume. So like what what do people kind of think it might actually be? Like, what is something that, like, yeah, like, is there anything that, like, this officer I'm talking to, at the very least, like, what does he maybe think potentially could be some other reason?
So, both of the specific officers that are here, both Lou Baptiste and Henry DuPont, both of them are very cynical about the supernatural. They're tired of people pushing the idea that this could be related to the festival, that this could be related to the drowned king in some way, that this could be related to the drowned ones in some way. They're really frustrated that people keep pushing those kinds of theories because they think it's a real repeat offender or something like that they're trying to put a stop to.
So Cooper
Does
is
that
able
answer
to
your
put the pieces
question?
together. It does. He puts the pieces together that they think that someone is going into people's houses and pumping them up full of water to death. So he puts those pieces together. So that's great. And then,
I mean, drug dealers who
guess-
sell fentanyl are technically repeat offenders, even if they don't pump people full of them.
The fit
that's fair.
lean.
That's fair. So I guess the only other one that makes sense, I feel like we've hammered this already, but the only other question that makes sense to ask, I guess I can keep holding.
I guess, yeah, technically you could,
Okay.
but it has to be related to this interaction.
So you can tell me not to. You can disagree with this. I'm going to kind of step away from the officers and just kind of get a closer look at the body. And I'm going to try to figure out what sort of creature is it.
Like the body?
The body.
The body.
Okay, it is a human that has
Is wet.
been somewhat tainted by some kind of magical power.
Aren't we all?
I mean, that's kind of the whole thing.
Okay.
So yeah,
Does he
I think that's the best answer I could give you for now.
make that public knowledge?
That's up to him.
Hey, guy! I know we haven't even introduced ourselves to each other yet. I honestly don't know why we're all in here.
You're just like following the scoop, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, you guys might hear me, like, record underneath my breath into my microphone. Like, it appears to be a body that is tainted with magical power. I hope I never have to see something like this again.
I still need to read a bad situation, don't I?
Oh yes.
Like
Okay. Then let us have a roll. It's another 8.
Okay, you get 1.
Is it so plus sharp? That's 2. It's 10. So 10 is still 1.
Oh, 10. 10. You get 3.
Okay.
Sheesh.
The first one I was curious about. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Well, both officers have guns.
We
we've
definitely
noticed.
those. Come on.
That are firmly in
And
their
you're all-
holsters?
And you're all annoying them.
it.
Oh, okay. So a threat that you haven't, any danger you haven't noticed yet. So technically, with the way the question is worded, I just have to answer yes or no. Yes. Yes. I will say it is ever present anywhere you go.
Gumbo.
Yeah, there was actually, she was making a pot of gumbo in the other room. Accidentally filled
drug.
it with salt water and inhaled it instead of
Now,
eating it.
Jacob, if you really want to just stick it to Gage, just ask him the question right after the question you've already asked.
It was that, or
You have 3, so I mean, you can.
what's the biggest threat?
So the biggest threat to you guys right now is the possibility that you're going to start dry drowning.
Oh no.
Guys, I heard about this new drug. We should try it.
Okay, hold on. So, again, is that like public knowledge? Is he like announcing this?
That's up to him.
Definitely, like, Thomas and I, we know, like, from the moment we stepped in here, we know there's dark
Right.
energies.
He's
at
just
play.
constantly casting telepathy on you.
Well, I definitely,
There's time and place.
I definitely say, like, looking at the body, and I'm like, I look at Thomas and say, I don't think this is over. Question. See, at first,
With that, sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
Texted me. Thomas is of the being that he can like sense things, right? So Thomas can tell, like Malachi said, there's something here that is not right. Like something
Yes.
is wrong. So I'm going to use magic.
Wait, ask your third question first. What was it again?
so I'm gonna have my indecision be similar to Malachi's indecision between what's my best way out or what's the best way to protect the victims. Which I do need to ask Keeper, are we the victims in this case, or is the person who is already gone the victim? So if my choice is pretty heavily weighted on who is the victim.
Well, much like everyone's a victim.
Well, then, after some sideways glances to escape routes, I have to ask, what's the best way to protect the victims?
Don't go near the holy water.
Y'all, I'm really thirsty right now, and I'm feeling very sinful. If only there was something that could quench both of these things at once.
Have you ever heard of goths?
Huh?
What?
He said he's thirsty and sinful, and I was like, have you ever heard of goths?
Goths?
Yes.
Abandon this train of thought. It goes off the rails and into a pit.
I mean, sure. I mean, I can't tell if he's being serious or not, but I'm like DJ. I can't tell if he's being serious or not.
Guys, you want to hear something crazy? You know Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein, the mother of science fiction. I found out today that she is the original goth, and by that I mean she and her husband first did the business on her mother's grave, and after he died prematurely, she kept his heart on her person at all times.
Don't doubt that.
At first kind of calcified with some of the bone that was around it because of the condition he had. And then later, she wrapped it in his final poem he wrote on his deathbed about nature mourning the loss of a poet and then inevitably wanting to die as well to embrace the dead poet. And she carried that in a silk pouch with her everywhere she went. And there's 3 or 4 other things I was just like gothhood peaked with her and never recovered.
If she was the original goth, that means surely she sacked Rome in 410 AD.
Yes.
She was there.
Now you're getting it.
While listening to Good Charlotte.
Not My Chemical Romance.
Boys Like Girls?
Crawling in my...
Huh? I'm just kidding.
Okay, so yes, avoid holy water. Avoid the holy water. That's how you protect potential victims.
Yeah, so at this point, is there any in the room with us right now? Holy water.
I have an EMF detector, and I can...
There is no holy water in the room, no.
Cool.
She is the festival planner. I feel the need to reiterate that.
Does she have
You could have planned better.
Does she have any more information on, does she have her planning notes or any recent communications or a phone we could steal?
Yeah.
We could oops.
Let's go
Could I
ahead.
oops a phone?
That's pertinent to your current situation. So no, but you do see a planner just sitting on the table on the other side of the 2 detectives.
Howdy, officers. My name's Cooper Anderson.
Now, if I just walk past the officers and look at the calendar, not touch it, but just go and look at it. Now, does that count as me going to check something scary on my own? Or perhaps my what could go wrong when I charge into immediate... If I charge into immediate danger without hedging my bets? Or can it be both? No, I don't actually know that it's really either in this case.
Yeah, I don't think it's either of those.
I'm going to ask forgiveness and not permission, and I'm just going to walk over there like I'm supposed to be here and look at her planner, perhaps take a picture of it with my phone.
Okay, are you going to pick it up to look at it or just take a picture of what's on the...
I guess I'm imagining it's opened already to current date. I don't know how big this planner is. I'm thinking
it's open to this week. It's open to this week's page.
Okay. I will at least respect I'm not going to touch anything, which I've already violated, but at least not violate it in front of them. And
I would not take a picture. I would not take a picture.
That's something that they would for sure notice.
Yeah.
I'm just going to look at
Yeah, I mean, you look at it
today in the past few days.
Yeah, you see that earlier in the week, 2 or 3 days ago, she had 3 days ago she had a meeting with the mayor going over the final plans, funding, all of that stuff. That's just what it says, plans and funding meeting with the mayor. The day before today, she was at the cathedral to speak with Reverend Calloway. And then tonight, she just has like the order of how everything was going. Like there's the parade tonight, and then after that there is the what was I going to call it? Yeah. I don't actually remember what I was going to call that specific part. The holy water ceremony was after the parade, and that's what she has written for today. And then, the next 2 days, just, again, normal festival stuff.
Okay. I'm going to look around, and assuming everyone else has seen everything they want to see, I think we're about done here. So I'm going to go to the officers and say, thank you so much for letting us step in for a moment. We'll be on our way now. If I were you, I'd watch out for what the kids these days are calling holy water. And I'm just going to leave. I will not elaborate.
Okay.
They can solve the mystery. Go for it, guys. I believe in you, Baptiste.
I do want to ask at this point, are any of you more curious about the founding story of the festival? Would any of you maybe want to ask more questions of anyone about the founding story of the festival?
Okay, so the last thing I hosted, I really tried to get people to look into something, and you guys just walked on by.
What's new?
Like jerks. But sure, I'll bite.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I guess what would I
what
would I already know by being a local?
Yeah, so you know the same story that I have already said. So Malachi and Coop would probably both kind of have this understanding, like a deeper understanding of the story than just the basics because of your both specific niches. So you would both know that the Drowned King was actually a man named Solomon Bell. DJ, that name should especially mean something to you.
Yeah, Bell's a woman.
The Drowned King was a man named Solomon Bell, and he had a falling out with his brother Abraham. Solomon and Abraham were both in line to be, because this was before the founding of America. This was like they were wanting to turn this area into kind of like it was, because Louisiana was owned by the French, so it was kind of like a little kingdom colony thing.
Ew, the French.
Their dad chose Abraham to be the next in succession instead of Solomon. And Solomon took great offense at that and decided to attack. Decided to get involved with dark magic in some way that maybe you're going to have to learn about later, specifically to be able to win a certain battle of some kind.
Is this Cain and Abel?
No, it's Solomon and Abraham. And Solomon attacks with an army of the undead. He is defeated. Nobody really knows what happened to Abraham after that. But you do know that there is a voodoo shop called Bell's Voodoo Emporium in town. Specifically, Cooper knows this.
Yeah, they got
I also
the best.
have studied this place.
Oh, yes. Yes. So Dr. Brian also is aware of it in name, but he doesn't know the connection to the name Abraham.
I was actually going to go
Solomon.
there because I know they make voodoo dolls, and I have found one, and I would like to know its origins.
Man, it's almost like I'm trying to push you guys that direction.
Yeah.
As subtly as I'm allowed to in this game.
I think before Dr. Brian goes, I am in some ways kind of trying to rush off to the next thing because I don't trust these officers to not get us in trouble if we linger any longer. But I am going to kind of make sure I'm doing my job and kind of look over at Thomas, make sure he's not about to have one of his episodes that he gets sometimes. You feeling all right there, Thomas?
Yeah.
You need anything? Glass of water? Well, maybe not. Time and place for water. All right. Well, you know where to find me if you need anything.
We're going to the same place, I imagine.
I believe in you. And I'm going to step outside, get on my skateboard, and ride as fast as I can to the voodoo shop.
Yeah, and again, Thomas and I are basically... I don't know how much I said from the things I discovered in reading The Danger, but I confer with him once we're hurriedly walking outside the building, basically confirming what we had already suspected, that there was more going on, that there's danger that's very present in this festival.
So, how many people are currently still at the duplex apartment?
So you have the victim, the already got victim. You have two detectives, or a detective and a captain inside. And then outside you have three officers with a small crowd of people who is, like in the street because it's very close to the city square. But they are starting to congregate at the city square because the parade is happening soon.
Should me ask you this? Is it worth my time to, like, see, now that I know that the holy water could be the cause, is it worth my time to see how she died, or no? Okay, never mind then. Okay, then let's just go to the voodoo shop.
Who's my person at the voodoo shop? Like, if I'm a regular, who's my person,
Yeah, so your person is Lucille Bell. No, not Lucille. Sylvie Bell. I did lie to you earlier. She is
Bell.
Sylvie Bell.
Sylvie Bell.
Sylvie Bell.
I don't know why she doesn't like me.
Sylvie Bell has been running this voodoo emporium for a couple of years, but it's one that's been in her family for a very long time. She is just like 21 years old. She's very young, but her family has had a stake in this voodoo emporium for generations.
She's a tan and she runs a voodoo shop.
I assume we're all headed there now. But
4.
oh, it's like for what?
That'll do for Coop.
So yeah, you're all headed toward the Voodoo Emporium. I'm going to go ahead and say as you're headed that direction, it's on the other side of the city square. In the city square, there's a river, or a river that runs through the middle of the city, and there's a bridge that you have to go over in order to get to the other side, called Le Pont Noir Bridge. Now, you're going over this bridge, and you see a man on this bridge who is acting really weird. Like he's talking to a crowd of people about how he has the ability to raise and control the dead. Do you want to stop and do anything, or do you want to keep going?
Coop the Snoop is gonna what's the word I'm looking for? Like, ask this guy questions.
Okay.
He's gonna, yeah. Hi, sir. Okay, so you're saying something about you can raise the dead?
That's correct. I have the ability to raise and control the dead. For I am Ezra Fontaine.
Okay, who's one dead person that you've raised? Name one.
I've never asked their names before.
Well, that's kind of inconsiderate.
It's not really
don't you think?
It's not really something that has willing participants normally.
That's fair. If I was raising someone from the dead, I'd do at least one famous person for my resume. Like, I don't know, George Bush.
Do you know anyone famous who lives in Nouve Lune or who died in Nouve Lune?
I don't think this town actually exists, sir. Anyways, I will. George Bush is still alive, by the way. I tricked you. Anyways, I will.
The dad's not.
Is that
Did
new?
he die?
The dad?
Like
That's been a little while.
Yeah,
Before we were born. Not before we were born.
Oh, I did not know HW was dead. My bad.
Yeah, he died in 2018.
Okay, that's reason enough for me to not feel bad about it.
Gage, that was 7 years ago.
I will.
When you guys graduated, I was gone.
I didn't graduate.
Man, I will investigate a mystery.
Go ahead. Go ahead and investigate a mystery.
That is a 9.
Okay, you get a question.
Yeah. So I guess the only one that kind of makes any sort of sense is essentially what is being concealed here, with like the added layer of like, is this guy telling the truth? What sort of creature is it?
He is not telling the truth.
All right, sir, real quick, I do have a question. Okay, so pretend hypothetically that you were walking along and you saw a Yeti. What would you do? Could you bring a dead Yeti back to life?
A Yeti?
Well, of course I could.
Do it.
There's not a dead Yeti right here.
Wait, sir, there's an apartment right down there. You have the opportunity to nut up or shut up right now. What's it gonna be? All right, we'll file this under shut up. I hope you have a good day, sir. Have a nice evening. Have a good rest of your parade. I love the work you're doing, by the way.
So as you guys are finishing crossing over the bridge, Le Pont Noir Bridge,
The Black Bridge.
you see what looks like a little riverboat coming up, and
Dinghy?
I know a riverboat. And Cooper, because you're a local, and this is your second year of college, let's go ahead and say that, maybe, or is this your first year?
Sure. Nah, I can't. I'm third. I don't care.
Sure. You know that the river is supposed to be closed on the day of the parade because most of the floats go down the river, and you hear this music that sounds like that you recognize. You recognize the music coming from the riverboat. It is like the old hymn, essentially, of the Bell family. And it's almost like it's coming not just from the boat, but from the water itself.
When I was a young boy, my father.
As the riverboat passes under the bridge, an eruption of water comes out over the edges of the riverbank and like the streets lining the riverbank, and you see five, what are they called? 5 drowned ones, 5 undead creatures. One of them immediately grabs a bystander and pulls them into the water, and then the other 4 start approaching the bridge, like the area of the bridge where you guys are.
I'm gonna take a quick peek at Ezra or Ezekiel or whoever it was that we just met. Ezra, and see if he's doing any of this stuff. It looks like he's playing any role in this whatsoever.
Please just roll for me real quick.
Sure.
It can be anything. Actually, no advantage.
Roll anything.
Just roll.
It is without anything. It's a 12.
Okay. You see that he is peeing his pants right now.
Cool.
Yo.
That is way better insight than I really wanted to see.
That man's
to see it spread.
Yeah,
I
he
can't
happened to
control
be,
the dead at all.
He was wearing white. Big mistake.
Any good necromancer knows. You don't.
Oh no, he's becoming one of the drowned ones.
That's how they drown
Just
themselves.
in that, sir.
Quick,
that's not how
everyone
you
look at him.
That's not how you drown
Look at how
yourself.
dumb he is. Everybody spin on him.
You put your face underwater, not your. Never mind.
So, yeah,
Well, I don't know
you
how
are
initiative
in
works.
combat. There's no initiative technically. I tell you guys what is happening, and you tell me what you are doing. It can't be like, I do this, then this, or anything like that. But it's essentially just I tell you what's happening. So we have a potential victim who is being drowned right now, and we have 4 other drowned ones who are approaching the side of the bridge that you guys were getting off of.
I think I'm gonna look to Thomas and be like, I know you got good in you. Why don't you save that poor? Is that a random person, dude or a lady?
It was actually, let's say it was a child. It was a little boy child.
Go save that boy child. You can do it. I believe in you.
Child. Makes me think it's like a 16-year-old who's like a
Child.
Gen Z, whatever.
Could have been you. That river could have been torn of your mind. No, this is way too much. I'm just saying I believe in him. And then I'm going to do a kickflip and ride down my skateboard towards the drowned and pull out my sledgehammer to just bash one in the face.
Okay, so with fighting with your sledgehammer, that is a weapon. What was it listed as? Is it close?
Yes. I'm
So
also... Yeah, go ahead.
That, I believe, is going to be kick some butt. I believe.
Okay. I still don't understand how this works, but I never knew if what qualifies as that versus a different
It
ability.
just means when you get into a fight, just you roll plus stuff is all
Okay.
it is.
Now, I am charging into immediate danger without hedging my bets, so I will hold 2, and we'll see what happens here. You know? Let's roll. Let's kick some butt. I feel the need to take a screenshot. This is, in fact, a natural 12. I gotta pick an advanced effect.
Well, is it advanced though? already?
But advanced effect because I got a 12 plus. Oh no, it's only if I'm advanced, right?
Yeah, it's only if you
Gotcha.
have the advanced move.
Gotcha.
Yeah. As someone who also rolled a 12 earlier, I had to do the same thing.
Let me see. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give my +1 forward to Thomas so that he can save that boy child. And then according to this thing, it says my sledgehammer does harm 3. Messy. That's all I know about it.
Okay,
so,
and is it listed as close?
I need to double check, but I believe so.
Okay, close is outside of arm's reach, so technically you are not in danger of doing the kick some butt there, like the negatives of it.
Oh,
But
okay.
I will go ahead and still let you have that 12. You said you gave, what did you do?
I
give
gave
me a forward one.
yeah.
Okay, so you're dealing 3 damage to the drowned one that you have just skateboarded up to recklessly without abandon.
Yes. Depending on how hurt it seems, I might use my hold 2 on this. Do I have to declare that before or after?
Repeat the question.
When I'm using my what could go wrong, and so I get to hold 2, and my options are inflict +1 harm, reduce someone's harm suffered by 1, or take +2 forward on an act under pressure roll. So I'm trying to decide how to use those. I just don't know when I need to tell you to do that. If I can be like, oh well, if he's not dead, can I stack damage on that?
Yes. If you want to do the extra damage, you have to declare that before.
Okay. I think I will inflict +1 harm, but then I will use my other hold to take +2 forward for an act under pressure roll
Okay.
in the future.
So yeah, you tell me how it happens.
So I imagine saying this encouraging thing to Thomas, and he's just like, what is with this weird guy? And then I hop on my skateboard, grind down the side of the bridge, this cobblestone bridge or whatever, so it's completely bumpy, it doesn't make sense. I flip off of it and just pull the sledgehammer from my back, completely dislodge the drowned's head from its body, and then land and just keep going towards the next one. And Thomas, just without telling you how your character feels, be like, okay, well, this guy's weird, but also...
It literally just looks at you and goes, huh, sick. All right.
That's exactly what it is just for a minute, just look around. I see the gory mess of the drowned by me. I go, sick. And then I keep going.
We're all
Okay,
hunters at
so
heart.
yeah, you do that. And the drowned one, after has been kind of low-key obliterated by this thing, stands back up and, like water, it takes the form that it was previously in, undamaged.
Sick in a different way.
So it's back.
Aren't we all?
It's back.
Okay.
Great.
I'm
This makes
just going
me
to
feel
assume
so
that I'm
good about
going
myself.
next.
You're gonna what?
I'm just going to assume that I'm going next if he gave me the forward.
Sure. I will say you don't have to do combat. In
Oh, no,
combat,
I'm not doing combat.
okay, there might be other things you can discover.
So the one that is grabbing this man boy,
Yes.
boy child,
Boy
whatever
child.
he is, I am going to use magic, and it is going to be banish a spirit/curse from the person, object, or place it inhabits.
Okay, you
Waste
got to
of
roll
time?
weird.
Is it waste of time or do it? I also get
Roll
plus
weird.
1, right?
Yes, he gave you a forward. Roll weird.
And my weird is +2, so it's a +3. That's a 10.
Hey, yeah, you succeed. You also get, so you get 2 effects. Oh, wait. Nope, I'm
It's just
looking at
one.
the wrong thing. Yeah, on
It's
a
just
10.
one.
Yeah, it works without a issue. So you banish it. How does that work? What does it look like?
Water just pours out of every orifice of the person holding the child, hits the ground, and then just disappears.
That
Okay, they
child
were
is forever
they were
gone.
in the river. What, DJ? I think
Cool.
you were muted.
I just said, I've been traumatized.
Literally.
Gordy, no.
And then if that's the case, then I guess I don't want to say cured. I feel like that's above just the banish.
He's like, I can't swim.
The boy's saying he can't swim.
I can't do it. I can't swim.
Well, no
Cool.
wonder everyone here is getting drowned, is no one knows how to swim.
Yeah, welcome to this place where you live in the river, and you can't swim. Well, I mean, at least you're not getting You're drowning on your own accord, not physically by something else.
Okay, that's the mentality. Who's next?
So hold on though. Is this thing like is the person now back that I banished, or are they dead?
Oh yeah, no, that one gone.
Like everything?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay. I didn't know if it would like cure them. So good to know.
No, it's gone.
It's dead.
Another one hops out of the boat.
three
So
left.
I am going to read a bad situation, and I'm kind of talking into my microphone the whole time because journalism is important. But while I'm doing it, I'm talking through it because I'm kind of pooping my pants a little bit here, but I'm also just trying to figure out the situation. So I'm gonna roll for that, if that's all right with you.
Of course.
And I got an 8. I am trying to figure out what is the best way to protect the victims.
To get rid of the drowned ones, not to defeat them, to get rid of them. Look at the boat and see a large black jar in the boat.
You got a jug?
Does that ring any bells to anyone?
Does
who maybe
anybody
got a
have any of
picture?
those? Does anybody have any of
Conjure
those
an image on a piece of
desiccant jail packs that you would get in like a beef jerky bag? We're gonna need a lot of them.
Silica packets?
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Wait, you said there's a black jar on the
Yeah,
boat?
there's a large black jar on the boat.
If only someone told me about it. I know all about black jars on boats.
Guys, there's a black jar on the boat.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you see a black jar on the boat, Cooper, and it has this weird writing on it in a language that you do not recognize. And it's got. I'm going to go ahead and say that, like, in your reading of the bad situation, you feel something like evil coming from the jar itself.
Cool. Guys, there's an evil jar. And I have, one of my things that I have is a drone. And I'm just going to, like, toss it up to try to get kind of an aerial view of everything that's going on.
Yeah, you do that.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be good footage. Yeah. When actual CNN comes calling, I'm going to get rich. Get rich or try dying.
You are literally the guy from Nope, man. The camera store guy.
Try dying.
Okay, and what is Malachi doing?
He first brandished his millimeter because of these approaching enemies, but then he also saw Dr. Brian completely take one out and it have no effect. So he's curious maybe if shooting this jar might have a beneficial effect for his crew. He takes aim at the jar with his 9mm.
Okay, yeah, you do that.
I'm going to need to put this down in my report.
So, okay,
Malachi has access to firearms. Call his mother.
You have no idea, my guy.
call his mother. I just want to confirm something with you really quick. My understanding is that with weapons, if you use a weapon, you just use it. Did anybody get a different understanding than that from weapons?
Is it not a kick some butt?
I think that's only
thought
like
it was.
if you're fighting up close, like within like fighting range. Like there's a difference
Yeah.
between kick some butt and using a weapon or using a move.
No, kick some butt. That usually means you inflict the harm rating of your weapon and your enemy inflicts their attack harm rating on you. So it does tie hand in hand together.
It says the amount of harm is based on the established dangers in the game. That usually means you inflict the harm rate. Usually means you inflict the harm
Yeah.
rating of your weapon.
So it does.
But for
that's-
like
That's
a
on a
long
7.
range thing,
I
yes,
feel like
that's
that
on a
would-
7+. On a
Yeah,
ranged weapon, I feel like that's just like you have negative side effects to it potentially.
Would it
Okay,
be act
Reddit-
under would it be act under pressure? When you act under pressure, real cool. On a 10+, you do what you set out to.
Guns was not something I was prepared for.
Well,
Okay,
get ready. You're gonna need
according
it.
to Reddit, 3 years ago, I think they've done a new version since then. The top comment on this question asking the exact same thing is neither. Just use your move, inflict harm as established.
So it's harm.
So,
Okay, so it's whatever harm is listed next to the gun.
And it's a 9mm.
That's 2 harm, I think.
ChatGPT takes directly from Evil Hat Productions and says, decide whether you roll kick some butt or the keeper just applies the damage based on the fiction.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, keeper move is inflict harm as established. So inflict harm as established is a keeper move that you could choose to do.
Okay. So you're not firing at something that can do damage to you. So roll kick some butt.
I don't know if it can do damage to me yet. We'll see if it gets mad.
Yeah, we'll
This
see.
possessed thing.
Roll kick some butt.
Jar of souls, just have you shoot it.
I've got a jar
rolled.
of souls.
I made that joke earlier, no one said anything.
You said dirt like a poser.
That's the real movie. Oh gosh. That was gonna be a joke and it actually hit my light.
I rolled a 10, and I believe I do not have any toughness modifier.
Oh, great. So on a 10, you also get to choose an extra effect, which is, do you have the sheet?
Let me see here. Oh, the extra effect. Okay. I think
I will say you are going to suffer 0 harm regardless. So don't pick you suffer less harm.
what would the benefits of you force them where you want them? If it's
So
not an animate object, but it might be connected.
In terms of what we're doing, essentially what you would be, you're shooting this jar and it's either going to be moved in the direction of the bullet if you so want it to, or it's going to tip over, I guess. That would be the the possible benefits.
Would the massive harm be part of tip over?
Potentially.
Well, I think when he shot it, he was trying to destroy it. So I think he's trying to do massive harm.
Yeah, he pulled the trigger extra hard. And what's the default harm of the pistol?
2.
2? Okay, so you deal 3 damage. Yes, so the jar would have shattered with 1. And the jar shatters. And out pours this deep, deep blue. Like this deep, deep blue liquid that is slightly more viscous than the water of the river, but still kind of has the qualities of water, you think, at least. But with the shattering of the jar, you see the drowned ones start to flicker until eventually they all melt into individual puddles. And you're safe.
Well, job well done, boys. See you at next year's festival.
I was prepared for that to go a little longer. It's just 11 o'clock. So I wanted to push that along. I'm sorry.
Now I know I can banish them.
Yes. You'll be looking for jars. Those will definitely help later.
Can we oops a jar?
You're muted.
You're muted.
I would like to oops a jar, please.
You're in the middle of a fight and they're like, you're surrounded, you're just like, oh, you find like a little tiny vial.
What's that in your ear?
They're just like, just pull the whole jar out.
Okay, so yeah, the drowned ones are gone. And you guys are free to do as you please. Do you want to check on the people around? Do you want to, what do you want to do?
Let's go save the child who can't swim because he's still in the water.
Yeah, somebody act under pressure. I really want you to act under pressure to save this kid.
I will do that because I currently have a bonus to that. Quick before it runs out.
I have negative cool.
That is
I'm gonna drown.
Oh, no, I do.
with my
Malachi.
+2 I've given myself. that is a 13.
I was scared for a moment that Thomas might try to
okay.
do something to the kid, but
So
it's better this way.
you can do what you wanted to absolute perfection. So how do you save him?
Oh jeez, I hadn't thought this through.
Doesn't require much thought.
I mean,
Here, take my hand, small child.
well, I
Boy
don't know.
child.
Child.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like a river.
Here you go,
where there's,
manlet.
like,
Grab my hand.
how is it? If it's
You
a
cannonball
wide
into
river,
the water, and it shoots him out.
Yeah, it's fairly wide. It's fairly
needs to
wide.
say
I'd
Dr.
say
Brian
you're
can't
looking at
swim.
like at least 40 yards wide.
I would like to, for the sake of not getting all the important stuff in all my pockets wet, because that's very important. Nah, it's fine. It's whatever. I'm just gonna jump in. I don't have that many things yet, so I'm just gonna jump in the river, and pull the kid out and give him some preemptive therapy before I hand him over to the police to hopefully reduce the chance of long-lasting trauma.
Oh yeah, his parents were there too.
I don't think I have any extra to say to them. I was gonna be like, well, I tell them to watch their kid better, but that's no good. So I'm just gonna save the kid. I don't have anything extra special for that. I'm just gonna save the kid.
You're good. You're good. Cool. So you do that. Yeah, you're good to go. Are you gonna continue on your way to the Emporium?
I would
Awesome.
like to oops, try to find something from one of the drowned, see if there's any like identifying stuff from them. Like I don't have control over what it is, but just trying to like search the bodies preemptively before police show up.
So they all melted into puddles.
Just like digging through the puddles.
Aren't you in the water?
No, he's out. He's out.
No, like weren't they in the water too?
One of them
no,
was.
one of them was. The rest were in the boat. Got it.
Yeah, so you actually hold your breath and go all the way to the bottom of the river for that one specifically. And you dig in the puddle at the bottom of the river and you find a driver's license. It was a Class A CDL or whatever for a man named Brian Tucker.
Okay. And he does not look like my voodoo doll, does he?
Not at all. Not even remotely.
Cool. Good.
Your voodoo doll is a very generic voodoo doll. Like, it's just a white voodoo doll with 2 button eyes and stitching.
So it's like a straw doll.
Yeah,
really.
it's just a straw doll.
Good to know. I thought you were about, for when you started talking about in the water, I thought, am I about to oops myself a boat?
You know what? If I think
Oops,
about it, I
all
might do
boats.
that next time.
You like lift up a rock and it's just like just goes flying out. And the rest
How did I find this boat?
You do
Hey,
notice,
maritime-
though, as you guys are leaving, that the water level is suspiciously higher than it was before.
It's climate change.
Listen, I didn't pee in it. I don't.
No, that was Ezra.
And the child that was being drowned.
So yeah, it is noticeably deeper. But as you're coming out of the river, essentially, the last section of it does not, like the last foot of it, does not function like normal water. And it is a very deep blue color.
Inviting.
I would like to purge myself of everything.
You do that.
I do think I very quickly like find somewhere else to like rinse off and like wash off any lingering goo.
And maybe some holy water would help.
Well, I have a picture of some holy water. Does that count?
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are... Dr. Brian is cleaning himself off, and everybody else is on their way to the Bell's Voodoo Emporium to see if you can meet and talk to Sylvie Bell.
It's Christmas time in the city.
You get there.
We did it.
Yeah, you did it. You're there. You walk in.
Are we congratulated by anybody as we pass through the square to the Emporium?
No. Everyone's just kind of like, why were those guys swinging at air?
Lovely.
Cool. Good. Anyway, Madam Voodoo Lady.
Yeah, so Sylvie Bell. She does not
girl.
look like your typical voodoo person. Just, like,
He's attracted.
that's not what I was saying.
He's a 4.
She doesn't look at your typical
attractive
voodoo
number.
person. She is a 4. She is the
We're actually
personification
we're pretty in line right now.
of the number 4. No, yeah, so you walk in and you see someone who just kind of looks bored to be sitting behind the counter. Like this is just what she does because it's in the family.
Well, hey there, Miss Sylvie. How are you?
Hi, Coop.
It is great to see you this evening. You would not believe what I've gone through this evening to have the pleasure of visiting you.
You have friends?
I didn't say anything about friends.
Well, who are these 3 guys?
Oh, that's a fair question. I do not know. This guy, his name is Brian, and I cannot tell you why I know his name, because he didn't introduce himself to me. And these other 2, I do not know. I don't know if they're following me or I'm following them. We seem to have similar goals and are moving in the same direction. Does that answer your question, Miss Bell?
That sounds
Ring
about
a
as
ding.
accurate as anything else that's happened with you.
I think I'm just gonna
Anyways.
go right along with what he's saying, just shaking hands like, "Hi, Miss Bell. My name's Dr. Brian. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, that's Brian.
I heard you do
The
voodoo.
one. They call himself Brian.
I mean, yeah.
Fascinating. I seem to have maybe come across, you can tell me if this is any of your work, and I'm going to pull out the voodoo doll. I'm like, I found this all by itself, and I assume this doesn't belong to just some poor little girl. I was wondering if I could take it to a professional, see if there's any sort of enchantment on this here voodoo doll, if it's currently representing anyone. Doesn't look particularly ominous. but I have a
Yeah.
feeling it might be important later.
So she looks disturbed, to say the least, when she sees it, and she asks if she can have it for a moment.
Well, I don't know. You look, I would say, at the least you look disturbed. And that doesn't sit right with me. So I'd love to hand this over, but I worry what it might do to you, or what might become of that. As in, maybe no. Like, does it look like her at all? Am I getting the vibe that
It does not look like her.
it's like of her, and that's why she's freaked out? Like, I don't know
No.
what the role is here to try to
No, just
suss out someone's intentions, but
I mean, you can always try to read a bad situation or investigate a mystery. You can always try to do that, or you can try to manipulate someone if you want.
let's just try to investigate a mystery. Why not?
Yeah, go for it.
That is a 10. I get 2 then, right?
Yep.
So I'd like to know of the voodoo doll. What can it do? And I would like to know of her what she is concealing. Yeah,
Okay.
I guess that's it for now. I'm good with that.
I'm going to answer them in the different order than you gave them. She is concealing that the voodoo doll is from this shop. And what it can do is a lot.
Such as...
That's all you need to know.
I don't feel
That's
like
all
that
you
answers
need
my
to know.
question.
No, it answers your question as much as I am willing to answer it at this point. It gives you an ally, potentially.
I would like to not hand it over and to see what other... I don't know. Coop, I'll lean on your journalistic intentions here, but it seems that something this innately powerful shouldn't just be laying around on the streets. Maybe we should figure out where it came from, who perhaps Miss Bell sold it to.
Have you tried just like shaking it?
Not yet.
That could give us some insight as to who it's attached to.
In one of
Now,
the
Miss
back
Bell, I
rooms,
knew you.
you hear a bunch of crashing
And where?
in one of the rooms behind her. You hear a bunch of crashing. I'm
Miss
kidding.
Bell.
I'm kidding about
I was
that.
going to just start having it like walk out here.
Now, Miss
I'm going to
Bell.
lean into the doll and say, "You are a meaningful and valued member of this team, and I appreciate you." Go ahead.
When I said it gives you an ally, I didn't mean that the doll was an ally or it controlled an ally.
Yeah, but assuming normal voodoo rules, like things
If you
happen
give it
this,
to her, it may help you get an ally.
that's fine. I don't know how it works. I think I tried that, like just shaking it around, and she's just looking at me, and I'm like trying to talk to it or move it. And
She's
I'm
just like,
I'll just,
yeah, could you please just give that to me?
Yeah,
I
okay.
think you'll
I'll stick to
appreciate what happens then.
therapy.
Okay. So she's like, okay, excuse me for just a moment. And she walks into the back.
While she's gone, I would like to find something. Is this where we
you
find out
find-
that Brian's a kleptomaniac?
You find a glass
I'm
bottle,
gonna go.
and it has a blue-colored liquid in it, and you have no idea what it does.
Bottoms up. I'm gonna go talk to Malachi and just say, all right, so she's a 4, but she helps you resolve what's going on with the voodoo dolls.
See, I was looking at the shelves of these dolls. I assume they're lined in shelves, displayed.
Yeah, you see dolls that are hanging on the walls, some that are nailed to the walls. You see little bottles here and there that have different colored liquids in them. Some of them say hair growth, some of them say, like acne, some of them say love. They're 4 different things. And then you see just like assorted different ingredients, such as that you would expect, like different kinds of herbs, different other, maybe some things you didn't think you'd see. Like you see like a full crow that's like, no, but you
Yes,
see
I'm
just that kind of stuff.
Leaning in and looking at these dolls, I say, she's a 4, but she's in way over her head and needs to be honest about what all she's up to right now for her own safety and mine, frankly, without even looking away.
Now, that's an insightful answer. But what if she was Bigfoot? Then what?
He kneels down and does this and hopes that Thomas can telepathically connect to his mind to understand how he is with that.
Just like, I know, man.
Just pull the pull the Sean Spencer.
I've been subscribed for a few months now, and as unpleasant as it is to get that little bell notification that something else has happened, I know that you've been on the trail of something, and it's brought us here, and I want to know what's got you on this trail.
Would you believe the dumbest of luck? Picture the dumbest luck you know, and take it down a couple notches. I honestly thought, so I assume you don't seem like someone that kind of likes the street interview stuff. So I assume you're one of those like 50, 60 followers that I got from my in-depth videos. I appreciate it. Thank you. That stuff was going nowhere. I love that stuff. I want to do that stuff. That's my favorite stuff to do. It was going nowhere. So I'm just doing street interviews because that's what the, I don't know, cool kids are doing, I guess. Cooler than me, at least. But it worked. Now I'm up to, I don't know, 6,000 subscribers, something like that. So we're moving along. And I just, it's a big festival. It's kind of a spooky time of year, spooky event. I really enjoy those things. So I said, Mom, Dad, we got to get there. And I was asking people, if they would, smash or pass, just like, the French. And I happened to see Dr. Brian, who I know. Okay, so Dr. Brian, here's a little gossip for you.
We don't need
He
it.
killed someone.
You're gonna have to be a little more specific than that.
Okay. Well, anyways, I saw him, and I thought I better see what's going down here. I cannot emphasize, not dumb luck, stupid luck. But I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys for welcoming me onto your team. I really am glad to feel like one of the guys.
Your longer form content was a novel change of approach, I admit, but
Thank you.
I haven't gotten this far by believing in dumb, stupid, cinder block-headed levels of luck.
As y'all are talking, you hear the door open up again. But instead of Sylvie walking through the door, you see a very tall, thin man wearing a suit.
Now,
He has
this,
How
very
slender is he?
This would be Goldie. I'm sorry. Please continue.
he has very pale skin, and his eyes look like they're buttons.
Is he slender?
He is pretty slender.
Man.
He walks to the desk and he greets himself. He says, "Hello, men. Thank you for accepting my invitation. I'm excited to get to work with you. See, my brother, I feel like he's coming back."
Oh,
Good.
the red flags are going off in Thomas's
Great.
brain.
That's fantastic. Family reunions can be exciting and difficult times, all wrapped into one. Happy to be a part of this journey with you.
And that's it for part 1.
Coop says, wait, who are you?
Tune
That's
in next
part one.
time.
Yeah, tune in next time.
We're gonna end it like we're Marvel. Just cut.
Just cut, but then do an after
credit
credit scene that's just not relevant at all.
It's not relevant. It's us eating like
Shawarma.
jumbo.
All right.
Gumbo.
Let me try this one, Coop. See if I can relate.
Smash or pass this Loch Ness Monster impression.
Okay, well, that was part 1. We will continue the story next week and hopefully resolve whatever is going on in Nouve Lune. But we will see. One of the things I want to do is I want to let the consequences of the actions happen.
Well, you can't just be ominous like that. It's not good for your skin.
Man,
we also
that's
have
all
to
I
go
have
the
left.
Emo YA finale route and split the last one into 2. We got to.
Oh, please no. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. You guys here, Andrew, Garrett, Jacob, DJ, thank you guys for hanging out and doing this. It is late. We are all going to crash. Thank you to Jacob Casey, Jared Scrother, and Adam Ward for our intro, outro music, and other music at different times. I want to say thank you to everybody who's been involved in this process. Thank you all. I am not going to ramble nearly as much as normal. Good day.
If
Good
by the
evening,
dumbest of
Governor.
luck, you haven't liked our thanks, please go
Holy
thank
water.
yourselves.